Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are F-Type specialists, and I dare say SVR specialists, simply because of the number of these amazing 200-mile-an-hour cars that we have retailed and that we have in our stock at any one moment. We have 4 in stock at present, and we're preparing a 5th one. And any SVR is special. They each have their own appeal, their own features, their own aesthetic. For example, I am particularly thrilled by this one. It is in ultra blue or Athena blue. It's a low mileage example. It's impeccably specified with panoramic roof and a range of other options. It is looking sensational with the black pack and black design pack and sitting on style 5040 alloy wheels. I am very excited indeed to show you around. I often remark on the fact that the F-Type design wears different colours in different ways. Behind this particular car, we've got another SVR in Yulong white, and it almost looks like a different vehicle. The way that the individual colour works with the design, with the curves, with those beautiful lines of the power bulge on the SVR bonnet, for example, is completely different on this ultra blue car to the white one behind it. Either one looks sensational, but I have a particular soft spot for this colour, and matched, of course, with black pack, the gloss black details around the car, the red brake calipers, the red growler badges on these wheels. I should mention, by the way, we do have other designs of SVR wheels in stock, so if you like the car but you preferred a different wheel design, we can chat to you about that. And likewise, at present, this one is on Pirelli P0 tyres, which are the Jaguar specified tyre. We can offer a variety of alternatives to suit your particular preference. Coming round to the back of the SVR, and I think this is one of the best angles with that beautiful articulated carbon fibre spoiler with the winglets at each end to minimise drag, and the beautiful splitter underneath with those quad tailpipes with the etched SVR logo on top of each one. You can see, by the way, that this car is in sensationally good order. We are very fussy indeed about the standard of vehicles we offer here at Sports and Touring, and this one exceeds all of our standards by a very considerable margin. The paintwork is in fabulous condition. The history is excellent. It's running absolutely perfectly. It's passed all of our checks without the slightest hitch, and it's waiting to delight its next keeper, I have no doubt. Well, that's a little tour of the outside of the car. Let's now take a look in the cockpit. We'll supply this car, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but there's no need to have the key fob in your hand because one of the extra cost options is keyless entry. Just tap the button there on the door handle. The car unlocks, the power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can look into this sumptuous interior. Now, the F-Type cockpit is a great space to start with, but in SVR trim with this beautiful lozenge ebony leather and Reims blue piping and stitching, it really does come into its own. And the condition in this car is sensational. The door card there, I dare say, as it left the factory. Similarly, the tread plate with the SVR logo in excellent order, the carpet and mat, and these beautiful performance seats with the SVR logo there embossed in the headrest, and that contrast stitching and piping are in sensationally good order. We can sit down into the car, and as I always say, we're in an atmosphere, an environment which matches art and science, technology and beauty. The design features around the F-Type cockpit not only look great, but they are very ergonomically efficient, very easy to use. This is truly a driver's car in the very best tradition of the genre. Looking around in a little more detail, we've got a handy stowage under the armrest here with 2 USB sockets, a micro SIM card, and the 12-volt supply there for charging your electronics. Forward of that, the twin cup holders and a little recess in the middle to take one of those small drinks cans. And to explore further, we'll fire up the supercharged V8. So my finger on the start button, my foot on the brake pedal, and you'll see as the engine fires, the instrument panel does its little self-test flying display, and the centre air vent will rise up into position. There we are. The engine is cold at the moment, so it's settled down to a slightly higher RPM than it would usually. That's in order to protect the catalytic converter. And we come back here to the centre console, and you can see we have buttons for the Eco Start Stop Defeat and the articulated spoiler present in the extended position. Press and hold while the car is stationary, and that moves it into the lowered position. We've got a traction control off button there. I would advise you to be cautious with that, especially in wet conditions. And then the button for the switched active sports exhaust, those valves in the exhaust which open to give you a throatier exhaust note while you're driving the car energetically. Electronic parking brake with hill start assist, of course, and then we come to the driving mode selector, this paddle which enables us to go from normal mode forward into rain, ice and snow mode. In this mode, the car is considerably calmed down. In particular, the gear shifting and the throttle map are adjusted to make the car much easier to drive in slippery and slick conditions in the winter. We come back through normal mode and into dynamic mode, or what I tend to refer to as tutti frutti mode. And you can see there that the instrument binnacle has illuminated with red backlighting, and we had a little message there that said dynamic mode confirmed. And this sharpens up the gear shifting, the suspension, the steering map and the ECU throttle map to give you a more engaging, more active feel to the car while you're driving it enthusiastically. Next to the mode selector, we've got the shift stick. It's a beautiful piece of design, falls very easily to the hand. The button on the front there enables you to activate it and move from park into drive, like so. And then we go sideways across into sports gearbox mode. And in sports, we can shift up and down using the shift stick. I prefer to use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel because then I'm in complete control at all times while I'm manoeuvring and shifting. But if you like, for old time's sake, to lower your left hand and shift gear like that, you obviously can do so in the ZF gearbox in these cars, an 8-speed ZF gearbox. It is a masterpiece of engineering in terms of efficiency, speed of operation and reliability. It really is one of the best features from a technical perspective of the F-Type. We'll go into park there for a moment and then take a look at the climate controls. So we have dual zone climate. Passenger and driver can dial in their own preferred temperatures. Press the button and we have seat cooling and seat heating, 3 stages either way, ideal in cold or hot conditions. Under the rotary controls there, we've got the auto air conditioning and timed recirculation, and then the rear and front window demist, including the electric demist. So this windscreen has those tiny wires running through it which heat up and clear the windscreen so quickly and effectively if it's misty or icy. Then we come to the infotainment. Do take a look at the photographs to see the CarPlay option in operation. I don't have a phone connected to the car, so I can't show you CarPlay at the moment, but it is there. This is the main home screen. We go left from here to the home page, which you can customize by adding your own widgets, your own shortcuts, for example, to your favorite radio station, or to get the sat-nav to send you straight home, or to telephone the office. Whatever it is you wish to include on your home page, you can do so there. Back to the home page itself, and we can go to the satellite navigation. Very easy to use, very fully featured, a beautiful big clear display. People I know who use the sat-nav very regularly find it enormously helpful and efficient. Back to the home page, and you'll see that we have the media options. So on this particular car, if we go to source there, you'll see at the moment we have radio. That's DAB, AM and FM radio. If we connect to Bluetooth source, a telephone, you'll also be able to stream music from the phone, of course. And you can plug in a USB stick or what have you into the connections in the center console. Bluetooth telephony, very easy to use. There's a button on the steering wheel I'll show you to start and end calls, so that's a very safe thing to do, and it's crisp and clear in operation. We go to the next page and you'll see here that we can access climate control directly, CarPlay and Android Auto options there. We've got valet mode on this particular car and in-control apps should you wish to have a subscription and use that. And then we come across and you'll see that this SVR has dynamic eye. That is a mode which, when the car is in dynamic driving mode, enables you to adjust and have either the factory setup with engine, gear shift, suspension and steering all in dynamic, or you can have your own setup with, for example, suspension in comfort but everything else in dynamic. And also from this page we access the stopwatch with lap timer, the G meter and the throttle position indicator and graph, which are handy if you go on the racetrack with an instructor for a bit of tuition. He or she may use those to assist in debriefing your lap. Okay, back to the home page and across again, and we'll see the ambient lighting. Now this only works if we're not in dynamic mode, so we select ambient lighting there, and we can change the color and the brightness of illumination of the lighting in the car to suit the mood. Across onto the steering wheel, and the left thumb pad has the infotainment controls and Bluetooth telephony button. The left-hand stalk gives us the automatic headlamps, and by the way, they are auto-dipping headlamps as well on this particular car, so you can set them and they will dip and undip as other traffic approaches. Over on the right-hand thumb pad, we've got the all-important button for the heated steering wheel, and if you haven't lived through cold weather with a heated steering wheel, then I dare say you haven't lived to realise the enormous pleasure it brings. And also we've got the cruise control and active speed limiter over on this side. The right-hand stalk for the rain-sensitive wipers, and then just by my knee there we've got the buttons for lane keep assist and the boot release and the rear fog lamp and the dimmer for the instrument binnacle as well. And then on the door itself, the 12-way memory seats with adjustable lumbar support as well. Not only beautifully equipped, but I dare say this particular car is in just stunningly good condition in the cockpit. The beautiful suede cloth is in fine order, the leather is unmarked, and all of the details and appointments are in fabulous condition. And I'll round off by pointing out that above us we have this stunning panoramic roof, a huge panoramic roof which lets the sunlight flood in when you wish it to do so, but on the other hand, if it gets too hot, simply pull the screen across like so and the light is blocked out and the temperature calms down. So in beautiful condition, fabulously well equipped, and the thing about this SVR, I think, is that it has so many of those options, like the heated and cooled seats, which make it a particularly desirable example. Okay, we'll stop the engine and take a look in the boot. As we come to the back end of the car, I'll point out that the spoiler is now in the lowered position, and this is the position it adopts if you put the car into VMAX mode. That is the mode you need to be in order to access the 200 mph capability of the F-Type SVR, with the drag minimized in order to achieve that very, very exciting and high speed. One of the other features on this particular vehicle then is the powered tailgate, operated either with the remote key fob or with a button just below the Jaguar logo there. Press the button, the tailgate moves up out of the way and reveals this really sizable boot. Jaguar knew that the F-Type had to be a practical car, and that's why they gave it a 300-litre boot space. Yes, it's a slightly unusual shape. For example, it extends out behind the rear wheel arches. The reason for that is that you can put a set of golf clubs in diagonally like so, and then move them round and they swing down to occupy the back end of the boot space. And you can get a couple of fairly smallish sets of golf clubs or one large set of golf clubs in the boot without any trouble, should that be your particular chosen hobby. And just below the floor here as well, we've got a handy cubby hole perhaps for your driving bits and pieces, especially if you're going touring on the continent. You have to take all kinds of safety kit with you, of course, which fits very neatly in there. Again, you can see the condition of this boot is exemplary. There are no stains, no marks, no imperfections. I can report there's no odour either. It's clearly been kept very clean and in good order. Okay, we'll close the boot with the button there on the tailgate and come round and have a look at the passenger side of the car. Now, we've got two-stage unlocking enabled on this car at the moment. So tap the button there to unlock the passenger door. And then we can see that this door card is also in fabulous order. I dare say pretty well factory fresh. The tread plate, the dashboard, carpet mat, and the beautiful quilted lozenge leather performance seat, all in perfect condition. Next, we can turn our attention to the power plant. So there is the bonnet. It is a large structure, and we have a video, by the way, on our YouTube channel which talks about the correct way to open and close the F-Type bonnet. There is the engine, supercharged. That is the supercharger sitting on top, in fact, of the 5-litre V8, producing 567 horsepower, 575 PS, and driving this SVR from 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds. And this is the moment at which I always say that, notwithstanding that incredible 0 to 60 figure, which is firmly in supercar territory, the essence of the F-Type is not drag racing. The essence of the F-Type is the connection that you feel sitting there in the cockpit between you and the things you're doing with the controls of the car and its responses, and the road beneath you and your progress and your journey. That is what the F-Type does so exquisitely well. It connects you with your driving experience. Coming back to the engine bay, you can see everything is in very fine order, excellent history with this particular SVR. Everything here crisp and clean and as it should be, and no doubt waiting to delight this car's next keeper. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It has been a real pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type SVR. With Sports and Touring, we're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to arrange to see it in person or by video call. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to our Google Drive. That's an online folder with higher resolution copies of the photographs, which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a vehicle to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again. Please feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details coming next.